Next up, at UFC Sao Paulo, we have Caio Borralho taking on Abus Magomedov. This is another great fight. Matchmaking-wise, this is a spectacular fight. Caio Borralho, 14-1 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, riding a 6-fight win streak, taking on Abus Magomedov, 25-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout loss to Sean Strickland. Everybody, oh, fraud check, fraud check. This guy's got trash cardio, fraud check. Sean Strickland is currently the middleweight champion of the world. He just finished the second best middleweight of all time. Not finished, almost finished, and then decisively won every minute of that fight after. So I don't know. This is another fight. We talked about it with Ismael Bonfim. Quick question, but don't go off the rails. I'm just curious. Do you think Abus was fraud checked? Yes or no?
Let me get down to the definition.
No.
If you give me 10 to 15
minutes of
11
your
minutes.
Time. Yeah, I just need 11 minutes.
I think he was, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know is where I'm going with this. I'm not going to defend it and say he was absolutely fraud. We just don't know. I think a lot of it had to do with we all kind of thought Sean Strickland sucked a little bit, but was like, ooh, he's got cardio and he'll move forward. And now he's the middleweight champion. It's like, how good is this guy? I don't necessarily think Abus was fraud checked. If we take that fight out of there, he's a versatile striker. He's got wrestling if he needs it. He's got some sneaky power as well because he doesn't throw like huge looping bombs, but he does touch people and he does give them a pretty hard time, put some of these people down as well. He'll throw leg kicks. He'll throw tight hooks. He can be hittable, but again, he's got the wrestling. If he's losing some of those striking exchanges, he can go to the wrestling as well. People trash his cardio. I mean, that could be questionable. But frankly, yes, he just lost to the middleweight champion of the world. He's taking on Caio Borralho. This guy's a very slick grappler. He's got solid submissions, pretty well-timed takedowns. He's got a long stance, super loose on the feet. He explodes in the double legs. And he has both a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu, and he uses all of those techniques. He is a good-looking dude.
Both these guys are good-looking guys.
He does like the nerd glasses, like, ooh, I'm a
he's team nerd or whatever.
Intriguing nerd.
And I know that it's not surprising that you would make fun of a situation like this, but he calls it the Fighting Nerds as his little clan because he wants to reverse bullying. He's not a fan of bullying, and you are.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I am a bully. I know I'm a bully. But also, people don't make fun of nerds anymore. I'm a bully with people I know, and if you say something out of pocket, I'll bully the shit out of you. But, like, I definitely encourage my kids not to be bullies. Like, we got invited to a birthday party, and I was like, oh, hey, we're going to go to so-and-so's birthday party, and my daughter's like, I don't want to go there. I don't know.
Your oldest kind of bullies me already.
Avery, this isn't even the older one I'm talking about. It's the younger one.
I know.
And she
the younger one likes me. I don't think Avery likes me, and she really shows off some attitude sometimes.
She's her mother's daughter. She's fucking mean. She actually is a sweetheart, but she does have a little bit of attitude.
I've never seen that side. The younger one is always like, woo.
The younger one just wants to make you laugh, and the older one is just, give me this, give me that.
In her own zone. Really can't stand her, to be honest with you.
Well, that's rude. It's her birthday tomorrow. It's her birthday tomorrow, and I hope you send a video wishing her a happy birthday because she'd appreciate that.
You think so? Should I do it?
I do think so.
Film it right now. Here we go. Like it says, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Okay, shut up.
You.
Shut up. Let me finish this.
Happy birthday, dear old one.
Oh my God.
Happy
Anyway,
birthday to
dear old, whatever the older one's name is.
I'm gonna screen record that, and there you go. It's on its way.
Okay. Anyway, Caio Borralho, back to him. Good grappler, good takedowns, all those things. But very similar to when I broke down Muhammad Mokaev a few weeks ago. What I say, like, yes, he's winning, and on paper, these are dominant wins. But if you look a little closer, he gets in a little bit of trouble here and there. Like, not the absolute one-sided beating that you think it is by looking at the paper or the box score. With that being said, I do think Caio Borralho wins. I have it as a very low confidence because if Caio Borralho, like he beat Mikhail Olenjachuk, didn't look great. Did not look great. I had bets on him in that fight, and I was sweating it a little bit. And that's not the first fight where I'm watching a Caio Borralho fight, and I'm positive he's going to win, and then the whole time I'm like, I can't believe I bet on this guy. I think this is going to be the same. I think he's going to win. He's at home. All he has to do is wrestle his ass off. He should be able to get it done. But all of a sudden, if Abus he got reality checked in that last fight and the takedown defense is there, he's going to light up Caio, especially if the cardio's there as well. So Caio's the pick. Very low confidence. I'm doing nothing. No bets, nothing with that information. I think he could be your parlay buster. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be like it's not crazy to think that Abus comes in and finds a big shot, maybe hurts him. And Abus is, like you said, he's got wrestling and grappling in his own right. Maybe he finds like a weird submission, or maybe he's able to find a finish on Caio. He possesses those abilities. I'll give him credit for that. He's a good striker. And you saw in that first round of the Sean Strickland fight, he wasn't lighting Sean Strickland up, but he was having some good success with the striking. The issue is, people might come into that fight and be like, oh, it was just a fluke that he got tired, right? It was just a situation where he just kind of blew his load. He was having success. It was a big moment for him, main event, all this stuff, piling on, adrenaline dump. It was just a fluke. The issue is, when you listen to the way that Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland and them were talking about that fight was, because I actually was having interactions with Chris Curtis on Twitter about it before he deleted his Twitter. I don't know why he deleted Twitter, but I was having some conversation with Chris Curtis. He said that was the game plan. We knew going into that fight that Abus is a guy that will blow his load and get tired, and if he gets tired, we can systematically break him down. The worst part about that fight was Sean Strickland, as you've seen, isn't really a finisher, right? He's not going to go in there with big power or finishing abilities. And yeah, he was kind of laying on some volume against Abus. But if you're tired in a fight, you can fight through that. You can still fight. You can grab onto him. You can clinch him. You can get through. We've seen plenty of fighters that are tired, but they still fight through the position. They still tough it out. They get that second win. They start fighting through stuff. And I know Sean Strickland's not the easiest guy to do that against, but to just kind of take a knee and then just kind of curl up and he fall down and you're just kind of like, I hate that, man. I hate the optics, and maybe it's a wake-up call. Maybe it's a whatever you want to call it. If you want to trust a boost to come in and not fade under the pressure again, God bless you for it. But it is hard to get that out of your system. When you do that once, every time you get put in that position again where it's time to give up, where it's time to put up or shut up, you're going to shut up 99 out of 100 times if you've done it before. I can't trust this guy at this point. He is the better striker, but Caio should be able to get in there, get the takedowns, the control, break this guy once again, and maybe find a submission win second, third round. I think he can finish this guy. I like Caio. Obviously, Abus is good, but I hate that. I hate that shit, man.
I hear you. I'm lost for words here because I do agree. I agree with everything that you're saying. I just don't trust Caio, though. Like, you trust that guy? Do you get what I was saying when I was like, listen, I
trust him on the ground, and he's very good at getting the fight to the ground early. And I think once he gets it early, he's going to have all that control. And we've seen Abus gas tank. He got tired in that first round where he was controlling that round. I mean, he basically controlled that entire round, was doing whatever he wanted to do. He was never the nail. It's not like he was getting beat on and then he got tired and then he quit. He won that first round. He was having success. And then the first time he has adversity, a minute into the second round, he's done, man. I can't. No thanks, buddy.
And I'm not picking him to win here, so I agree with you. And maybe I'm too nervous.
No, I get what you're saying.
Caio. Because I bet on him his last fight. I was like, God, dude.
I mean, he got a second round finish, so
he did, but it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, Muhammad Makayev just got a third round finish. He was going to lose that on the judges' scorecard.
Which
so
it's like it
would have been a bad. That would have been
that place would have got burned. And I was live. Could have been the last live stream. I would have been like, what the fuck? But luckily, I had Makayev by sub, and we hit that shit, baby, on the way to plus unit.
Back to this one.
Premium member.
We're both on the same side here. Sounds like you trust Caio a little bit more than I do.
I know what you're saying, though. I don't disagree.
Yeah, and what's weird about it is it's not poor fight IQ. It's not like Cody Brundage, so you just can't trust him. Like, that guy, who the hell knows what that guy's going to do?
I think it's the way he strikes. It's the way he
an
crashes
awkward
in with
striking
the striking
style.
because it's like the karate capoeira style. But when he goes in, I mean, he will go in. If you zig when you're supposed to zag in those situations, Abus is more than capable. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so I got some concerns, but, $9,200 in DraftKings, if he is going to get that grappling going and Abus is going to tire out and quit or get submitted, that 9,200 could be worth it because you'll get the finish points, you'll get the takedown points, and potentially the control points, all of those things. So I'm not going to bet on him in actual, like on bets, not at minus 243, even though I do think he wins. We'll take a look at some of the takedown prop bets. There might be something there, but just money line, even the inside the distance decision, no, actually, a boost is the dangerous one. Like there's just too many things that I don't necessarily trust here, but 9,200 DraftKings could be worth it. You're going to spend that? I mean, you should, given your narrative.
Probably. I think there's a good opportunity here. I think in front of the home fans. I think these Brazilians, and by the way, the Brazilian fans kind of usually not great. I mean, they kind of did.
No, they turn on. Yeah, they turn on their people quick, dude. Yeah, what was the issue with Glover again? They just didn't cheer for him in his last fight or something?
He sat there and was giving his retirement speech, and the arena was empty. They all left.
They left. Yeah, they left.
That was dirty. It's like, Jesus, man, this guy, he represents, like if you were to have an ambassador for Brazil to represent Brazil, it would be Glover. I mean, that dude's the nicest guy in the fucking world. Yeah. Would you agree, Angelo?
I couldn't be a nicer guy. Couldn't be a nicer guy. And I do remember that now. They did do him dirty. Literally middle of his speech. So anyway, I mean, I wouldn't say they're... Because some of them are like insanely... Some of them, meaning some of the events in Brazil are very energetic. They appreciate the jiu-jitsu, so it's not always booing. But yeah, you don't know what you're going to get. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. You can unlock the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else you have ever needed to have some fun and be successful watching these fights.